Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the latest news and current events shaping our world. I'm your host, Walter. Today, we're kicking off with a story that's been making waves in British politics. The Labour Party conference has been underway, and tensions are running high as party leaders take aim at Reform UK and its leader, Nigel Farage. In a speech to the conference, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer launched a scathing attack on Farage, accusing him of not believing in Britain and being more interested in stirring division than serving the country. Starmer also vowed to fight racist rhetoric with everything we have, following his earlier description of Reform UK's policy on indefinite leave to remain as racist and immoral. But it wasn't just Starmer who had strong words for Farage. Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy sparked controversy when he appeared to suggest that Farage had flirted with Hitler Youth in the past, referencing allegations from 2013 that Farage sang Nazi songs as a teenager. However, Lammy later backtracked on these comments, stating that he was happy to clarify and accept Farage's denial of the allegations. It's clear that the rhetoric is heating up between Labour and Reform UK, with both sides exchanging blows over issues like immigration and national identity. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how this develops and what impact it has on the upcoming local elections in Wales and Scotland. We'll be keeping a close eye on this story and providing updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that British politics is entering a critical phase, with parties and leaders vying for position and seeking to define the narrative ahead of key electoral tests. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block, folks. We're diving into the world of politics now, where the latest poll numbers are always a hot topic of discussion. Today, we're looking at the approval ratings of President Trump, and it seems like there's been a slight uptick in his popularity. According to a recent New York Times Siena University poll, President Trump's approval rating has ticked up to 43%, which is a 1-point increase from previous numbers. The survey shows that 43% of registered voters approve of the president's handling of his job, while 54% disapprove. It's worth noting that 29% of respondents strongly approve of the president's performance, while others are more critical. Now, it's essential to consider the context and methodology behind these poll numbers. The survey was conducted last week, and it's possible that various factors, such as current events or media coverage, may have influenced the respondents' opinions. As always, we need to approach these numbers with a critical eye and recognize that polls are just one tool for measuring public opinion. In comparison, we can look at other recent polls, which have shown varying levels of support for President Trump. For instance, some polls have reported higher approval ratings, while others have indicated a more significant gap between approval and disapproval. It's crucial to consider the broader trends and not rely solely on a single poll or survey. As we analyze these numbers, it's also important to remember that public opinion can shift rapidly in response to changing circumstances. The president's approval rating may continue to fluctuate as new developments unfold, and it's essential to stay informed and up to date on the latest news and events. In conclusion, while President Trump's approval rating has seen a slight increase according to this recent poll, it's crucial to maintain a nuanced perspective and consider multiple sources when evaluating public opinion. We'll continue to monitor these numbers and provide you with in-depth analysis and context as more information becomes available. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to shift our focus to a couple of stories that caught my attention recently. Firstly, let's take a look at the situation surrounding the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. The plant has been offline for several weeks due to damage caused by Russian shelling, and there are concerns about the potential risks of a nuclear accident. According to reports, Ukrainian authorities have accused Russia of deliberately targeting the plant's infrastructure, while Russia claims that Ukraine is responsible for the damage. It's essential to note that both parties have traded blame, and it's challenging to verify the accuracy of these claims. However, what is clear is that the situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant poses significant risks to the environment and human health. In a related story, there are concerns about the handling of plutonium in the United States. Democrats have expressed doubts about a plan to give at least 20 metric tons of weapons, usable plutonium to private companies for commercial energy use. The lawmakers argue that this move could risk putting weapons-grade material in the wrong hands and undermining the nation's defense. On the other hand, proponents of the plan claim that it could help jumpstart America's nuclear energy industrial base. However, it's crucial to consider the potential risks and consequences of such a decision. As we delve into these complex issues, it's essential to approach them with nuance and balance. We must weigh the potential benefits against the potential risks and consider multiple perspectives before forming an opinion. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.